Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys set meeting with Dream Day 2 prospect before NFL draft. The Dallas Cowboys had their fair share of issues this past season, one being their inability to stop the run. Truth be told, it's been a problem for several years now. Even in the 3 seasons with Dan Quinn serving as the defensive coordinator, America's team ranked 16th, 22nd and 16th respectively, against the run. And this past season, with Mike Zimmer running the show on defense, the Cowboys ranked an abysmal 29th in this department, allowing 137.1 yards per game on the ground. So, this is a problem that clearly needs to be addressed, which Jerry Jones did not do in the first wave of free agency, at least for the most part. In total, Dallas has added 5 players thus far who are either defensive linemen or linebackers. And of those 5, only Jack Sanborn has a strong PFF run defense grade at 70.5. And this is a positive in a second way, as Sanborn already knows new defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus quite well, as they spent several seasons together with the Chicago Bears. The other 4, Dante Fowler Jr., 50.0, Solomon Thomas, 41.5, Peyton Turner, 40.7, and Kenneth Murray Jr., 35.0, tend to struggle in this area. As such, the Cowboys will need to go looking for help in the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft. And while it seems unlikely they'll go the run defender route in round 1, they do have a meeting set up with one of the top prospects in this category who could be perfect on day 2. Per the Draft Network's Ryan Fowler, Dallas is expected to conduct a visit with interior defensive lineman Alfred Collins, who was a first-team All-SEC selection and a second-team All-American this past year with the Texas Longhorns. At 6'6" and 330+ pounds, Collins is considered one of the top run defenders in this draft and racked up a career-best 55 total tackles in 2024, 6 of which went for a loss. The fact that he also recorded 7 passes defended and a sack is a nice bonus. The size is clearly there, and he's undoubtedly got the strength to perform well at the professional level, especially in the lower half of his body, as he's extremely difficult to move off his base and has demonstrated the ability to be able to handle combination blocks. That's not to say the upper body isn't an asset as well, as the 23-year-old possesses quality hand swipe and arm-over technique. But he's not all strength, as he has plenty of quickness and overall agility to boot. Cowboys draft day trade could hinge on Ashton Jeanty. The Ashton Jeanty and Dallas Cowboys connections go back longer than those of any prospect or team in the 2025 NFL Draft. But the real connections have heated up since the end of the college football season and the early draft projections began. The Cowboys look to be in need of a running back, and Jeanty made for a seamless fit. Things have ramped up since Jeanty got vocal about his desired landing spot. He has made it perfectly clear he wants a homecoming and wants to be the next Cowboys running back. In recent months, however, the buzz has simmered down on that connection. But not on Jeanty, who could come off the board as early as the number 6 pick to the Las Vegas Raiders. What does that mean for the Cowboys? Dallas has other existing needs on the roster that will present options for them at the number 12 pick. But if they are locked in on Jeanty, would it be worthwhile to trade back for extra value? NFL.com draft analyst Chad Reuter believes that strategy is worth consideration and the Denver Broncos could be the perfect partner. His projection has Dallas trading number 12 and a 5th rounder to the Broncos for their 1st and 2nd round pick. The Cowboys could move down for the 3rd time in 5 years if running back Ashton Jeanty is not available when Dallas is on the clock at number 12 overall. The Cowboys could stand pat and pick Matthew, Golden or Tetaroa, McMillan at 12, too, but a mid-second round selection may be enough to induce a drop down the board. There's 2 alternatives to consider here. The draft class is deep enough at Dallas positions of need that trading back and netting extra value gives them the opportunity to still grab a player high on their board while netting an extra pick of value in the process. Conversely, the team-specific needs on the offensive line and at wide receiver could be addressed with a player at the very top of the position rankings. Passing on those opportunities could raise some questions down the line. Cowboys have an obvious Jordan Lewis replacement nobody is talking about. While the Cowboys have added 10 new players to the roster since the start of free agency, they also lost several key contributors, a list that includes nickel cornerback Jordan Lewis, who signed a 3-year, $30 million with the Jacksonville Jaguars. In an attempt to make up for the loss of Lewis, Jerry Jones struck a deal with the Buffalo Bills to acquire Kerry Elam, who never lived up to his status as a first-round pick in 2022. And how effective will that move really be? For one, while Elam says he can play nickel, he's always been more of a perimeter player and is expected to compete with Kalen Carson for a spot in the starting lineup if Trayvon Diggs isn't ready to go at the start of the 2025 season. And secondly, it's not as if Elam is an elite defender, especially in coverage, as he's never earned a PFF grade in that particular category higher than 66.0. There is an option out there, however, but Jones may have to pony up a little more dough than he'd like to bring him in. With the Cincinnati Bengals spending all sorts of money to keep their offense intact, veteran corner Mike Hilton was shown the door and has yet to find a new home. And that's a bit surprising, as the 8-year veteran earned a 75.9 overall PFF grade in 2024, which ranked 23rd among all cornerbacks, and a 91.5 grade against the run, which ranked first. Hilton is a little weak in the pass rush department, but the Cowboys wouldn't need him for that anyway. Like Lewis, he excels in the slot and would seemingly easily slide into the starting lineup on day one. The 31-year-old isn't the ballhawk Lewis is, but he still has 13 career interceptions to his name to go along with 520 tackles, 66 tackles for a loss, 56 passes defended, and 11.5 sacks. The issue for Jerry Jones, of course, would be money. Spotrac currently lists Hilton's market value at $12.3 million per season, which Jones likely won't want to pay, especially with Lewis making less money with the Jags. But if Jones wants to put some of that remaining salary cap space to use to actually improve this team, he'd be wise to at least consider making this move.